Hello students, welcome to our today's online class. Hope all are fine and read the textbook. Today we can discuss the rest of the chapter which we were discussing in the previous class. So now look at the rest of the chapter. So Stephen shouts for Jackson. Jackson arrives and sends Stephen to ring the police and the ambulance. When they find that McGlary is hurt and he is lying down there in the cell. McGlary raises himself. He says he is all right. There is no need to call for any ambulance or anything. They should call the governor. He knows where Evans has escaped to. He can help to grab him. He clutches the question paper with his blood-stained hand and he wanted to hand over the question paper to the governor. So the governor arrives there. He hands over the question paper to governor. Governor knows to read a little German and he reads it and he understands the instructions given in the question paper. So the photocopy which was superimposed on the question paper, it had some instructions for Evans how to escape from the jail. So the governor asks for Detective Superintendent Carter and Carter arrives. He is shocked to see McGlary bleeding. He suggests that McGlary should be taken to hospital immediately. But McGlary wanted to help the prison officers. He is not ready to go to the hospital. So the governor tells Carter to take McGlary's help and to take him along with the van in search of Evans, as McGlary knows where Evans had headed to. So they drove away. Now the governor is completely puzzled. He cannot understand how Evans was able to conceal a false beard, spectacles and other things in his cell. Jackson and Stephen has completely checked the cell earlier. He looks at the question paper. In the question paper, the directions are given and according to the direction for Evans, he was asked to go to Newgrave. So governor couldn't understand what is Newgrave. Then he understands that it is Newbury. He tells Jackson and Stephen to go to St. Aldate's police station and contact Chief Inspector Bell there. Then he rings a bell. Now McGlary is there with Carter. Actually this McGlary is Evans himself disguised as McGlary. The person who is there with Carter, it is Evans himself disguised or impersonated as McGlary. So he has seen Evans. He gives this instruction, he gives the information that he has seen Evans driving in a car to mislead Carter. And these people, the prison officers, chase the car but they lose the sight of the car at Headington. Then they reaches the examination office. There McGlary means the Evans impersonating McGlary. His condition becomes worse. And they ring from the examination board, they ring for an ambulance. Carter hopes that McGlary must be admitted in Radcliffe Hospital. After some time, governor just rang up the hospital to find out whether what is the condition of McGlary, and he comes to know that there was no one admitted with the same name. And as per the phone call from examination board, they had sent an ambulance to take this man, but no one got into the ambulance. There was no actual person. Now governor can see that McGlary was not the actual person who was appointed by the examination board. So what happened to the real invigilator? Now governor understood that McGlary, the person who came to conduct examination for Evans, was not the real McGlary. So what happened to the real McGlary? Real McGlary started off from his home at 8:15, but someone securely caught him and gagged him in his own flat. He has been there in the flat from 8:15 a.m. So somebody else from Ivan's gang, impersonating as Stuart McGlary, came to the prison to conduct the examination. It was not the real Stuart McGlary from the ministry who came to conduct the examination. Now, Evans, as per his plan, he safely reached to Golden Lion in Chipping Norton Hotel. His friends provided him with whatever requirements he needed to fresh him up. He is sorry that he had to cut his long, beautiful hair. So I believe you might have remember the bobble hat he was wearing, which Jackson asked him to remove, and he said that it is a sort of his lucky charm, and he didn't remove. And Jackson gave him the permission. So why he was wearing that bobble hat? Because he had cut his hair to disguise as McGlary. If he had removed that hat, then and there itself Jackson might have caught him. So that is the reason he was not removing that hat. Evans thinks that it was good that McGlary had worn 2 black fronts and collars, but they kept slipping off the back stud. Evans had to keep the pen in his mouth. To solve this problem, he had to drape the blanket to hide the black front and stud at the back of the corner. So all these things defines all the actions of Evans. Why he was keeping the pen in between his teeth always, because his collar was slipping down. He was wearing a big coat than him. So it was slipping down. That's why he has to hold it. He was holding it like he was holding the pen. And the other thing is, and he was trying to hide it with the blanket. Now he is there in the hotel, and when he opened the hotel room, he found our governor sitting in his room. So he thought he had escaped, and he reached to the hotel room in Golden Lion, and he found our governor sitting in the hotel room. He was shocked. Actually, he was paralyzed to see the governor there. The governor tells him that now he has no chance to escape. He asks Evans how he was able to smuggle blood to pour on himself in the cell. So that semi-inflated ring which Stuart McGlary has brought, it had blood, was filled with blood, actually pig's blood, which takes a longer time to get clotted. So that ring, semi-inflated ring, had blood. That blood he poured over his head to show that Evans heard him and escaped. The governor is amazed. He asked Evans that he had no visitor. Then how could he plan all these things? Then Evans says that his German teacher, he was not actually from technical college. He was also a gang member from his gang. So the teacher and he planned all these things in advance. They together must have been planning the escape. Now the governor is happy. He caught Evans. He understood all his plans and all that. So he was so happy. He has been able to grab Evans. Then they came down the stairs, and the receptionist tells the governor that the prison was there in front of the hotel. A prison officer handcuffs Evans. Then they drive away with him. There comes another twist of the story. After driving for a small distance, the prisoner unlocks the handcuffs and they move to Newbury. Then who is the prison officer in the van? It was also a member from Evans' gang. So the prison van and prison officers, do you remember? So obviously the prison officers were Evans' friend, and they had acquired a prison van in the morning on the pretext that it was needed by the magistrate office for a remand case. The second phone call which the governor received in the morning. So that call was also made by Evans' troop. So I believe you understood the story. The story is a little bit lengthy, so read the text thoroughly, and if you have any doubts, note it down through our Gmail ID. Till we meet in our next session, take care. Bye bye. Have a great day.